Well, I'm here with my broadcast partner, Kerbs, and Kerbs, I know it was going to rain a lot this week, but I didn't think you needed a life vest for this interview.
I'm telling you something, and I mean this, and you know me because I'll rip on myself more than anybody. Okay, whenever you wear a vest, jacket, or whatever they call these things, if somebody doesn't crack a Marty McFly flood joke, shame on them.
Kerbs, I want to talk to you about something more specific today. Hearing you talk right there, you sound really good. And I was a little nervous about how you'd sound, and why don't you enlighten the fans why they've been seeing a lot of me and less of you? They probably want to be seeing more of you, but they've been seeing a lot of me.
No, that's okay.
Where has Chris Kerber gone? Will you explain what's going on?
Over the last, who knows really how long, I'd be talking, and then after doing a game, my voice would just be shot for a while. So they found a polyp on a vocal cord, and so I had to have surgery to have it removed. So I did that on, I think it was September 21st, that Monday, right around there. So right about now, we're in week 5 or so of kind of coming out of that. And this is the first week, as you and I are recording this, this is the first week where I'm actually able to test some levels. Like the healing is to the point now where I can really get loud. Now this should, this should scare you. Okay, so I asked so Dr. Joseph Bradley over at BJH did the surgery, did a fantastic job, said it went like picture perfect. If he could take the video and use it to teach students, he would. And so that's good news that it went that well. Said it was a really large polyp. And so through that, afterwards, when I was finally able to go see him, I couldn't speak, didn't talk for basically 9 days. And I said, well, what can I expect now? And he says, well, it's going to be a lot easier for you to get the sound out because there's nothing blocking the air and the way that the vocal cord should work. And I thought, whoa, there's another level.
Yeah. It's kind of important for what you do, Kerbs.
It is.
Your voice is important. Did that make you nervous? I mean, you seemed anxious as the bubble, we were calling the bubble games and leading up to that moment.
Yeah, because we didn't do anything, and then we started to do those playoff games, and I'm like, man, the voice isn't there.
Because during that pause, you're like, do I do this surgery? Do I not? Do I wait? Because you didn't know if hockey was going to come back. And finally, you had an end date when the Blues lost to do it. But was there a lot of anxiety and stress leading up to the surgery? Is this even going to help? Is it going to make it worse? I mean, your voice is pretty much your life.
I would say not a lot of stress or anxiety. So when the doctors talk to you, and they've got to tell you, it's rare, but there is a chance something could get nicked and you could end up with a hoarse voice. And they've got to tell you that. And then that's not what you want to hear when your voice is what you do for a living. So outside of that, I was more like, well, you got to get it done. Yeah. And if something happens, we'll take that as it comes.
So you used a whiteboard.
So I had a whiteboard.
And you took it around everywhere.
Only once or twice did I end up having to write a paragraph. I probably slipped up once a day, and the kids would jump on me. Like we picked up dinner one night. It didn't look like it was everything in there. And just naturally, and this is probably about a week in, I kind of looked at Gracie and I went, is it all there? I went, ooh. And I hadn't even, you hadn't heard your own voice in a while.
Right.
Or a couple times something would happen, I go, ooh.
Now, there are people that go on these silent retreats, or some people are committed, they think it's like this thing where I'm not going to talk for 4 days, right? Because I want to...
religious monk.
Yes, I want to observe the world in a different way, or maybe get a little perspective. Maybe I'm talking too much. So this is something you had to do. Could you look at your 9-day experience of not speaking and...
It was great.
Was it great?
It was great.
In what way?
Well, first off, I didn't have a choice. Now, the challenge is, and I think people would realize this, try and go 3 hours. Try and go an hour. Okay? What's amazing is it's not the long conversations like you and I have, or if you're sitting at a bar with a buddy. It's just a quick 1-word or 2-word communications. If Brianna asks you something and your answer is just simply yes, but she's not looking at you because she's working on something, with one of the kids, and she's waiting for you to reply yes, she's now got to look at you just to see you nod your head. That kind of thing. Or the quick, somebody's going out of the room or something, and oh, wait a minute, something like that.
Right.
That's, and before you can do it, they're out the door. That was probably the biggest challenge of them all. One thing it did, I've got 3 daughters, right? Wow, it's amazing how many times you really shouldn't respond.
Yeah.
And now going through this, sit back and
let it breathe.
Don't respond until they say, now talk. And so sometimes I'd wrote down, you tell me when I should reply.
Yeah.
Okay, and then just, next thing you know, they're done, they leave. I didn't need to reply. I went, oh. There's some life lessons learned in this. I'm not joking about that. It's very different than when dealing with boys.
There's a lot of let it breathe moments where I feel like I do this a lot too, where I'm so quick to respond and like say my piece. So your advice would be,
well, we're fixers. My personality tends to be a fixer. If I see something that needs help, I try to help and fix things.
Go at it.
Sometimes things don't need to be fixed; they just need to be said.
And the Blues fans can expect a full recovery out of this. I mean, your voice, it sounds even deeper. I agree with what the doctor has said. It sounds like it's carrying even heavier.
Yeah, there's I don't like to talk quieter, which like this, I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
Like, it's really easy now. I couldn't, okay, for those that wanted me to, I could not speak quietly without really, like, it would struggle, it would crack, it would drop. And so this was, it was good. No, it was good. Now we got a couple months, we'll get it going and hopefully hit some preseason games, maybe December if we're lucky, or early January, and get this thing rolling.
I miss you.
This is good talk.
It's good talk. It's good catching up.